witches.
Hi, hello. Sorry, I
Oh,
just got
we.
like something in my eye. It has been a week. I'm currently drinking.
Me too. Water.
It's fine. You gotta clean out your system somehow. I'm just choosing to inebriate before I do that.
Well, tomorrow night we're going to a party, so
Yes, please hydrate.
I'm hydrating now.
Yeah. Yeah, no. We're not gonna do much. We're gonna try to do like a day date, and it's gonna be like really warm down here, so we're gonna try to like go out and enjoy the sunshine and the weather and maybe go to the beach. We're gonna for our anniversary, Will got me the adventure book where you like scratch off what you're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
do and then you take a picture with the Polaroid. Yeah. So we're gonna try to do that.
We
We'll
have
probably
that.
pick it
It's super fun.
tonight so that we can like plan and see
Yeah.
if we have to go out and buy anything. If it's like to make food or something. But I'm gonna try to do like an outdoor one.
I like it. We have that
But
book too. It's a lot of fun.
don't you have the dirty version?
We have both. We have the
Oh,
adventure challenge for couples and the adventure challenge in bed.
yeah. That's funny. Um but yeah, oh my gosh, the year is coming to an end. Finally.
Yes. Right? Jesus, it's been a year. Oh my
I feel like I
god.
say that every year. Ever since COVID, it's like, man, it's been a year.
Right. Like starting in 2019, like
Mm-hmm.
ugh. You know what
Literally.
also coincides with that? When I started being an actual teacher, like I was done with college and teaching.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's
Yeah.
not an omen.
I was, still I was done with school. I was doing like I was in the workforce. I was working doing all that, but like that's like the year that I left one job and started another, but I didn't make enough, but I like my apartment, the place I was living in was too much, so I had to have a second job. And then my mom passed, so then like the emotional turmoil of like going through that on top of working stressful hours, and ever since then it's like,
Ugh.
god damn it, when does it
Because
get
we're
better?
adulting now.
I know.
Right? Literally, the year that COVID happened, like 2019, the end of 2019, that was my first year teaching. I started that August. We went on spring break in the March of 2020, right?
Hmm.
And we never came back to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because literally COVID started, so my mom passed, COVID started, and I was like, you know what, if mom was alive she probably wouldn't make it through this, and that's how like I know when it started, because she was on oxygen. She like it was hard to breathe
Right.
anyways, so, and she worked with in like long-term care, so she would have been on like strict lockdown and like PPE gear all over the place. um and then my second job, the owner of the job decided he didn't retire, but he decided like, 24 years of this, I'm done. I'm ready to close this chapter, start a new one. So February that year, our last day was literally my fucking birthday.
Oh,
My 2 year anniversary at this company. And he's like, all right, today's the last day, guys. And I was just like, oh, this is fucking sad. Like I lost my mom. Now I'm losing my second income. God. And then
yikes.
it just never ended. And then we shut down
Oy.
for 6 weeks, and how'd I tell you? Anyways, so it's
Have you seen
just
the memes that are like, um, don't nobody talk about new year, new me. This 2023 is going to be my year. We're just going to walk in quiet, sit down, and be nice. Like, yes, that is how I feel about
manifest
it.
it
Like,
quietly.
right, right. Like, sit down,
you
shut the fuck up.
know,
Let's,
I used to always post like, new year, new me. I'm gonna do all these new things, and it's like I never fucking do any of them.
no.
I
Well, and like, I
literally
feel like
give it
it's
my best
partially
shot.
because we shoot so big, right? Like we're
Yeah,
gonna make this huge change, but like change doesn't happen like that. That's not how it works. Like if you want to
baby
make a real
steps.
lasting change, yeah, you have to start small.
And it's like I never under fully okay, I never fully understood that until I started working in like behavior and working with kids with autism, because it's like you give them a high goal, you're going to see them come crushing down,
Hmm.
and you're like, "Oh, this is a lot harder for
Yeah.
them than it would be for us." So then you have to learn those baby steps to get them up to succeed, and it's just like,
Yes.
so then
Literally,
you
when I write
start
goals for
doing
my
that
students,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Literally,
Uh,
when I write goals for my students, if it's a goal that they've never done before, like it's something I'm introducing that's brand new, the goal is that we get to 40% this year. Like, the
yeah.
goal is not to make it to 90% or to master the skill. The goal is to make it to 40%. And then after that, we'll work on getting to 80%. Like, we're
Yeah,
not,
like baby
because otherwise you're
steps.
setting up for failure.
Yeah.
And
So
like when they get to 40%, you can be like, oh my gosh, we met your goal, now let's up your goal. Like, that's so much more exciting to a kid than, oh man, we didn't meet your goal this year, we're gonna have to keep trying.
we
Like,
were like
ugh.
3% away, and it's like, no,
Right.
man, like
And
they made
that
that
works for
huge gap.
everyone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so when we moved down here, Will's like, I want to get more active. I'm going to go walking. Like, it's going to be nicer, longer, and it's not going to be like as shitty outside. There's not going to be snow or sleet or whatever. And
Ice. Ugh.
yeah, and so he literally one day was just like, I'm going to go for a walk. And I was like, okay, you do that. I don't want to go for a walk. Partially because I'm on my feet all day at work. I would like to just sit on my ass right now. And so he literally started walking, and he would each day he would make it a bigger walk.
Yeah.
Not by a lot, but a little bit. And then he's like he would bring the dogs with, and then he'd start going on 2 walks a day, and then he upped it to like 3 walks a day. And then he started walking all over the fucking place. And I was at work one time, and we live 6 minute drive without traffic to my job. And I follow him on, on Find My Friends, and I just was looking at it, and I was texting him, and sometimes if you click like the information on that person, it'll show
Yeah.
you location. So I was like, where the fuck is he? Why is he almost to work? Like, he doesn't have a motorcycle here. What the hell? He literally walked all the way from my place of living to my place of employment because he wanted to walk. He wanted to go get his hair cut, and he was like, I'll just walk there. It's going to be a fine walk. And then he ended up having to walk around, missed the haircut thing, and he goes, well, okay, it's really hot out. I am closer to Emily and PetSmart than I am to home. I will just walk to PetSmart. I'll grab something to drink at the mall, head over there. I'll take the car home, and I'll just go pick her up after work. And that's what he did. But you know what? Ever since then, he'll do a walk during lunch, do a 20-minute one then, and he'll do a 20-minute walk after work. And
Yeah.
ever since then, now it's a habit. And if he doesn't do it, he feels so guilty.
Yeah,
So it's
so
like,
Brittany usually does a walk during, not, I don't think it's every day, but she usually does a walk during her lunch
mhm,
because she works from home too. Like, they both work from home, and it's, I mean, they sit a lot in front of a computer all
yeah,
day long. I have started my little habit that I started at work, and my principal, guidance counselor, and assistant principal are all holding me accountable to this. Is I'm so bad at when somebody comes in and says, "Hey, are you good?" I'll just be like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Instead of being like, "Actually, can I take 3 minutes just to like step out and reset and then come back in?" Because I'm in that room with those kids all day long, half the
that's
time
nice that
by
they like
myself.
check in on you though.
Well, not by myself, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it's
You're
just a
still
lot,
telling like adults what to do, how to do it when you're
right?
with the kids.
In the
So, I
same
mean,
environment all day long,
mhm,
and I work with special needs kids, so it's not quiet. Like, and I'm not, there's usually maybe an hour total of the entire day that I'm not being touched. Like,
yeah.
someone is constantly touching me. So,
And
like,
you are the
we've,
type of person that it's like, please don't touch me. Get
yeah,
out of
I
my
need a
bubble.
minute. Like, get off of me. um, and so we've made this deal that when they come in and ask me if I'm okay, even if I say yes, I have to leave the room for at least 3 minutes. Whether I go to the bathroom or go for a walk up to the office and check my mail, like I have to leave the room for 3 minutes because
That's nice
I
though.
don't. yeah, well, and because I was not taking care of myself. I was not okay. And not too long before the end of school, I texted the principal and was like, I need to talk to you. Like, I'm not okay. Like, something has to change. And so that was the baby step that we came up with for something that we could control, that could change. Because what really
Yeah,
needs to happen is I need like two more helpers, like two more adults in my room. But that is not something we can control because there are no applicants. So we are choosing to control the me getting out of my
a
room every
break
once in a while.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice though. I mean, so like
Yes,
baby steps.
and yeah, and the admin I have and everything, I mean, obviously are so supportive, and like they care about me,
Hmm.
not just what I can do for them. So
Yeah,
it's a very refreshing change, and it's very enjoyable.
that's so nice to have some support. I do. I
Yes.
honestly feel really support at work too. It's really nice and like refreshing to like if you are feeling the pressure and you're like, I just need to walk away for a second, or just say like, I need to go to the bathroom. I need like 15 or something. They'll be like, yeah, you're entitled to that. Go ahead. We're not a union, but like they'll
Right.
basically be like, yeah, I got you. I won't call you for anything. Like we we were getting swamped yesterday, and like the orders were coming through. People were calling left and right for different things, and we had like 800 tags to go out, and we probably needed like another person, and we just didn't have that support, which we can't always control that in retail, which is fine. I'm not complaining about that, but I started walking to the back, and my store leader go, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, it's just there's just a lot happening all at the same time, so I'm just gonna take a second to myself. I'm gonna go get a drink of water. I'm gonna like maybe go stretch in the break room, grab a snack,
Yeah.
something, go to the bathroom. He goes, yeah, do whatever. Take your 15. I don't care. Like, what order are you on? Like, do you want to wait until you're back from your break, or do you want to do this? And I'll be like, I just need to breathe. I'm just going to go back and take like 3 minutes to breathe. And he'll be like, yeah, go ahead, go do it.
Right.
And it's like, cool. Take out my
That was
earpiece. I don't hear
so
anything.
you remember I had that system in place at in my last classroom
Hmm.
that if there was a situation, whether it be in the classroom at large or with a specific student, all one of the adults had to say was tag and get up and walk away, and somebody else would take their place. And I want to implement that in my new classroom so badly. I just don't have the staff to do it. Um,
Right.
so I'm really working towards that. And training is another piece. Like my staff has come so far this year, but they're
Obviously, it'll still
brand
be,
new. Right, brand new.
yeah.
And it's a lot to learn. Like each one of my kids, we talk about individualizing education. Each one of my kids is so different that it's a
Hmm.
lot to learn. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's really all about the baby steps, because if you give yourself too high of an expectation, you're going to come crashing down, and then you're just going to get defeated, and then
yep.
you're just going to sit there, and then it's never going to get done. Like every year I don't make like a list like some people do, but I'll sit there and be like, I want to lose 50 pounds this year, or I want to eat healthy this year. It's like, okay, be more specific. I want
Yes. Oh my
to
gosh. I was just thinking about this. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
like I
Finish your
want
thought.
to go on at least I want to walk leisurely, not through work, something like that. At least an hour a week. Take like a 10-minute walk, clear the air, whatever. Or I want to have two non-carb meals a week. That's eating healthy and that's exercising. So that's like two big goals broke down into smaller goals. And then as like you can have like a deadline, like, okay, by the end of March, I want to have a habit of doing this walk or whatever the case may be, or doing like skincare or doing a self-care, like 20-minute self-care a week, like something. And you're going to go a lot farther doing that, being more
Yes.
specific. Because if you're just I want to lose 50 pounds. It's like, okay, losing 50 pounds and like losing fat are two different things. You can lose the 50 pounds, but you might still have some skin that you could tighten up. Do you want to tighten up that skin or do you want to lose the weight? Because sometimes being at a higher weight, you can carry it better because you have muscle. So do you
Right.
want to gain muscle? Do you want to like slim up? Like it's
Yeah.
just a lot easier to follow that way and
Yeah.
get the
And
help you
so,
need when you are like specific.
yes. So I was just that. It's so funny. Another life lesson from a special education teacher. Um, so we've been really focusing on at work. Something that is hard for people to understand if they haven't worked in special education is, or education in general, really, but
Hmm.
especially special education, is that like, what skill are we working on right now? If we are working on um, understanding a text, okay, we're not worried about reading. If they can't read the text, then you read the text to them. The skill is, do they understand it?
Yeah.
Like, it's what exactly are you focusing on? Like, you have to break down the whole. So, I guess maybe a better example is like counting money. So, you have to break it down, like, because counting money is a lot. Like, there's
Can you
$100
count?
bills, there's,
Yeah.
right. Well, and like, can you count large numbers? Can you count pennies? Are we counting all the coins mixed? Are we counting
Can you
just
even
one kind of
differentiate
coin?
between coins? You just know coins is money and you're going to
Right.
count them all as the same. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it. So you need to
So, like,
learn generalization.
and how to break it down into the little
Hmm.
pieces, because so many people would try to teach counting money by giving kids a pile of money and count it. No.
Count away. Right.
Literally,
And
we have to start by how much does each coin worth? Because a lot of
yeah,
kids don't even know that.
yeah.
And then let's count a group of pennies. Let's count by ones, let's count by fives, let's count by tens.
Right. There was so I work at the school we worked at. There was a girl that she was like 12. She was a seventh grade at the time, and she did not know how to read. Obviously I don't know how that's improved or anything like that, but every single time I would go to a meeting and everyone would be like, she has these outbursts when it comes to this. She shuts down when it comes to this, and I'm just like, guys, she can't read. And if
Right.
she can read, she's so used to people reading for her that when she's forced to do something, she gets upset and then she shuts down. So what we need to do is we should take like a simplified text like News to You. That is a program a lot of special education um, groups use, and you can simplify it between level 1 to 3. 3 is
Yep.
obviously going to be like no pictures, hardcore words. Level 1 is going to be like specific pictures for the key words of a
Right, like
statement.
one or two words.
Yeah, and it's going to be like 2 sentences for like the whole thing. And you
Yeah.
answer like, "Hey, what is this text about?" It's about snowman, a snowman festival.
Yeah.
Like, so I was like, listen, I still have a login for this. Let me print out some stuff and we'll test it out. So I was getting data for the special education teacher, and I was like, okay, so she can clearly read these sentences. So she has like the base knowledge of reading. She just can't read a 7th grade science book or a 7th grade English book. And if
Yes.
you read too fast to her, then she's not comprehending it. So you need to break it down even further. So you need to read the text, say, this says this, and then
Yeah.
maybe you
Break
could
it
read it to
down.
her. And so then everyone in this thing was like, no, she just got an attitude. It's like, yeah, she's a 12-year-old. She's got an attitude, but she also can't fucking understand shit. I was
Okay,
like, all
I'm not
right,
even
I'll
gonna
just,
comment on that because everybody always has an attitude there, and they have an
yeah,
attitude for a reason.
right. And so
Anyway.
I'm sitting there like, she doesn't know how to read. And so they're like, okay, well, Emily, how about you teach her how to read? Okay. When do you want me to teach her how to read? She is in regular seventh grade science. She's in regular seventh grade PE. She's in seventh grade math. Well, okay, not math. She's in simplified math. But like she
And also, generally, once you get to that point, like it's gonna take
she needs to do
hard,
outside resources.
yes,
And that's what I said.
all
I
day,
was
like
like,
multiple hours a day, practicing every
yeah.
day.
And I was like, if you want to take her out of PE and you want to take her out of like one other class that she doesn't technically need right now, and then put in like two, like give her like a BSD or like, okay, like a study skills class in the morning, a study skills class like right before lunch, and then one at the end of the day. So that like each time we can work on something small, then we could focus on it. But it's like half the time you were dealing with her attitude because you were like, what do you mean you don't understand this? And I literally spent 30 minutes with her to have her read the word what. And it is because everyone has always read to her. She's read the word to me before, and I asked her to read it again, and she goes, I can't read. You've done this before. This is like the 17th time we've worked on this. It's the same exact text. You probably have it memorized. Read it. But it's
Right.
just because she's been babied and everyone thinks she has an attitude problem when really she's just frustrated because she can't read. And it's
Yeah.
because no one's given her the baby steps and they've
No, it's
fucking failed
broken
her.
it down. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Ah. Yes. So that was
The
a
woes of
long-winded
special
way of
education.
saying that you need
Yeah.
to break things up and like celebrate each step. Like
And yeah,
break it
and
down. It's
the
like
thing
say
is,
you want
it's
to lose
not,
50 pounds. Okay, well, we want to lose 50 pounds by 2024. Okay, well, let's break that down into smaller steps. What are we going to start doing? Okay, well, once we've walked for 5 days, like once we've or met whatever goal we've set 5 times, let's celebrate that. Now, don't celebrate it with a freaking birthday cake because that's counterintuitive, but celebrate it with taking an hour to play your favorite video game or reading
yeah,
a book or something that you enjoy.
positive
Like,
reinforcement your goals. And
yes.
it's I know a lot of people are like, well, behavioral analysis is like is basically dog training, and my kid's not a dog. No, but you're human, and humans are considered animals, as are dogs, as are cats. Why are cats able to use a button system to talk? Why are dogs able to do that? Because it's the same system that we use in training people and how to
Yeah.
do things.
And you
And
can't say that, like, oh, they're not a dog, they're not going to learn like that, because humans have Pavlovian responses too. Like,
yeah, there's
we,
studies all over that.
right. Like,
That's why applied behavioral analysis works. Maybe not
yeah.
always, but that's okay because everyone's different. But some of the fundamentals that you learn in like that field, it carries over.
Yeah.
It's a
So my
science
actual
for a reason.
therapist, she doesn't use ABA, she uses CBA. Well, my old therapist, she used cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, she used cognitive behavior therapy because that's really ultimately, even if you're going to a therapist because you're depressed, that's what you're trying to do is change your habits. So instead of focusing on the negative, when I start to feel my tells, I do this instead. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Well, and it was really weird because like
training
going
yourself.
from, yeah, so like going from uh the like clinical autism behavioral world to like a school was
Ugh.
really hard for me because the way you do things at like a center in a school are so different. Like I tried so hard
Yes.
to do like ABA fundamentals, and it worked for the short time that I was able to like do it, but then nobody else wanted to carry it because they didn't believe in that. So they would just sit there and tell these people no, and it's like all
And
these kids are hearing is no. They're not going to hear how they can do something different. So instead of saying no, say, "Hey, how about instead you say, cool, thanks for telling me," instead of saying fuck you. Like
right.
they'll say, "No, we can't say that." Okay, but you're not telling them what they can say. Instead of
Right.
saying
You're just assuming
can't,
that they know how to do it. You have to teach them. That's our
yeah.
job.
And so
Also, I will
going,
say that I just got signed up. I did a training and got access to an ABA program links, the links and stars,
Yeah.
for that I can use in my classroom.
Oh, it's
Um,
so fun.
oh my gosh!
I
So I
like
got
I
both of
like
these programs now.
stars. Yeah, I like stars
Yeah,
way
we're
more than
gonna
I like
start there
links.
because the kid needs to learn routines first, but we're gonna work
Yeah.
through it. Um, but I just got all of this, and I am having two of my staff trained to use it. Um, and I'm so excited about it because they're I have two students who are really going to benefit from it. All my students are going to benefit from it, but I have two that are really going to benefit from it. Um, but there's so much freaking red tape in education,
It
especially once you get to high
yes.
school,
Yeah,
that you
so
can't do what you have, like what you need to do for the kids.
right. So every time my BCBA, who is a board certified behavior analyst, um, the school worked with one and she oversaw me in certain things to do for clients that she was able to be with, but she also did like kind of like a group, I wouldn't say group therapy, but like group social skills. And what was really frustrating is no matter how many times her and I talked about how to like help the kids that were in the social group, one kid would be able to like excel at every single thing that we were teaching, but it was not at another kid's level. So then the other kid wasn't understanding it. So then we had to take more time to work with that kid. And then the other two are like off zone and off because like we're not paying attention to them because we're trying to like get this kid into a habit of doing XYZ. And it was really frustrating because it's like I we can't get this point across. So this system's not working for this kid. It's great for this one, but we're not giving them the attention they need. And there's only two of us versus four kids in this group. And then you have a kid who everyone's like, well, he needs social skills. He just needs to learn to not say bad things about people. And being in this group with these kids is not a great environment for him.
I laugh
And
because I know who you're talking about.
yeah, and then I would go to the elementary school where I would work with the same BCBA and we would do the same social skills with the same group of kids, not the same group of kids, but like a same similar level age group of kids. And we would use stars and it would be perfect for everybody. And I was like, this is so refreshing to see. I saw like all the progress across a whole semester and I was like, I don't want to go back to the high school. I want to work here. Like this is where I want to be
Right?
because
And
the I
it's so exciting because like
you see what
it's
you're working on. You see the
right.
progress. And it's just so sad because the high school has so many age groups, so many different things, and it just didn't work out. But
Sorry. I'm going to make some weird noises for just a moment because my computer just went to power saver mode because I never plugged in the extension cord.
good job.
I know.
But it's yeah, so it's just really frustrating for people of all walks of life to set big goals and then just be defeated. And I think that's why a lot of like New Year's goals and like people who are like
Yeah.
it's really bad when I got a part-time job at a gym and it every single person there was always like, "Oh, new year, new me, people coming in." And I was like, "Why are you making fun of them? Like at least they're trying." And
Right.
they were like, "Yeah, but they're not going to stick with it." And I'm like, "I mean, you might be right, but they're here. Like
Right.
I'm only here because I got a fucking job here, but you don't see my fat ass up there lifting weights. Like my fat ass is
Right. And
sitting right
instead of
here."
saying, "Oh, here they come," why don't you do something to help them stay?
Right. Like,
Like just be a good
hey,
person and
right.
like I mean,
It's
I
like
know some people don't like other people or don't enjoy social reaction or interaction, but like that doesn't
for
mean you
those who
can't
are
be
might
a
be
good
bigger,
person.
right. So those who might be bigger who are going to go work out, they might struggle with body image or like looking stupid in front of other people who are there
Yeah.
who are consistently there. And these people might not know what it like how to do things, a good form. There was one guy who was like a personal trainer, and he came up to one of my friends and goes, "Hey, by the way, your form is not great. You need to do it like this. You need to do it like that." And my friend's just like, "Cool, I didn't ask you for your opinion on my form. What you could have done was, hey, I noticed your form isn't the best, so you're not going to get these similar results. But
Right.
if you would change it like this, you might actually get results faster if you continually like this instead of saying, hey, your form sucks. It's like, all right, first of all, that was a negative way to start it
Yeah,
off.
first
You
of
need to
all,
be
fuck you.
positive. Right. He was an asshole anyways. I that trainer, I was like, every time he walks in, he'd be like, "Hey, girl, what's up?" And I'm like, "Don't fucking talk to me. I don't
Right,
give a shit right now. Like,
bye.
you're an asshole." He was a dick, anyways. He called his baby mama like all kinds of horrible names, and
Mm.
she worked there. She worked in the daycare, and she used to be like fit, but because she had a kid, obviously she wasn't fit afterwards. And then he like basically consistently told her to her face and behind her back that she let herself go. And he's a personal trainer, and it's like, that says something, sir. If you're a
Right,
personal trainer
bye.
and your baby mama let herself go, like, you clearly suck at your job.
Uh-huh.
Shut the fuck up. She had your kid. Do you want your kid? Do you love your kid? Great. Yes. Okay.
Then
Shut the
shut the
hell
fuck
up,
up. Oh my gosh.
fucker. Anyways, all right.
It's about to be January.
Means first of the year, first of the month.
Yeah.
And you know what that means? Cleaning, cleansing time.
Yes. And Capricorn season.
Oh, yeah, it is. Sagittarius now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's my season.
Yeah. Yeah,
The best
Brittany's
of them
birthday is
all.
coming up. So
Is she a Capricorn?
she is.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And it
She,
is to a freaking T for the most
yeah.
part.
My mom was a Capricorn, and I see some qualities of my mom that I see in Brittany.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
My mom always said I was an airhead, but not like in the airhead, like stupid airhead,
Right.
like the you're off daydreaming, come back down.
Right.
And everyone's like, what an Aquarius? And I'm like, shut the fuck up. You fucking asshole. Anyways, so, okay, so we got a few spells for everyone. Um, So at the end of the year, you always reflect on your past year, what you could have done, what you didn't do, what you hope to do in the next year. Just reflect on your past. This also works for when you have grief, not when you are grief, when you have grief or you're processing like some hard emotions, which, it's the holiday season. That's usually the worst because you're
For
around
real, for real.
family who either doesn't support you or you cut people off throughout the year for one reason or another, whether they are family or not.
And even if
So,
you don't have that, like sometimes family that you love and get along with can also be exhausting because
yeah,
they don't, like, generally with your family, you don't have as much of a filter and you'll tell them how it is because you love them anyway. But yeah, family can just be exhausting sometimes. They're great sometimes, but they can
depends
also
on your
be
family. Yeah,
exhausting. Yeah, depending on your family.
yeah.
I
So
feel
it's
like we
just
shit
like,
on family a lot, so I just wanted to make it clear that, like,
depends on your family.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
Like,
have, yeah.
yeah. Like this year, I like moved away because my extended family, it's not okay. It's not because of my extended family. I wanted a new experience. I wanted to get away from Indiana, the mundane life
Yeah.
that I lived there. I wanted to get away from. But throughout the last year of my choices and my being outspoken and being more comfortable in myself and my choices and my beliefs, I have hit a lot of snags with my family. And it has gotten really, really bad sometimes. It's gotten better at other times. So, and it's also it's hard too because like it's my mom's side of the family, and like she was kind of like that buffer. She would complain about them, I would complain about them to her, and then that would be like the buffer because she understood. She grew up, she knows them, all of that.
Right.
But with her not being here, it's kind of been like it just kind of hits you harder because then they're going to tell you how they truly feel instead of telling it to your mom, where your mom can sugarcoat it for you to where you
Right.
don't blow up at them because you have anger problems. Um, and you fight with your family all the time. So it's just, yeah. So this year, on top of that, moving away, having like Christmas away from like family, it's been refreshing because I wasn't with family, because I was able to just sit, not do anything, and do my own thing. But I FaceTimed dad, and you know that was really nice. Like we FaceTimed all the family. We FaceTimed Will's mom, Will's dad. I think we FaceTimed Will's dad, but we contacted him regardless. And like we FaceTime my grandma because she's in the nursing home. Like we FaceTime my dad, all of that. So at the end of it, I was exhausted. I was tired, but I reflected on it. And it was nice because I was able to process my feelings and like my concerns from a healthier standpoint because I've worked a lot with my grief with losing mom and all that. So here's a spell for you because the way I did it was unhealthy. So we're going to give an actual better version of it. So, um, some items that you'll need would be a mirror, a journal, or paper and a pen. Salt or consecrated salt water. You can also have a fireproof dish or matches or a lighter, but that's optional. So, it says that the mirror is a tool for reflecting what is in its field of vision. It's also a common tool in metaphysical reflection. You use it to create a space of honesty and revelation for yourself. For some people, it's also very uncomfortable. So, like, my acting coach was always like, watch videos of yourself and critique yourself. That's very uncomfortable to me. She goes, the more often you do it, the more clearer certain things become, and then the more things you can change for the better, and the less likely you're going to feel uncomfortable doing it for yourself. So it's kind of like the same thing. Like the more you think about it and do it, the easier it'll become to reflect. So you'll take your mirror and you'll put it in a place where you can be seated in front of it comfortably. You'll place your pen and your paper in front of you. And then you're going to spend about 5 minutes examining your reflection. So, what do you see in your eyes, in your expression, in your posture? What has caused these things to occur? What about your reflection aligns with how you feel right now and what does not line up? So, if you feel exhausted and tired, but you don't look exhausted and tired, like why is that? Or vice versa. Um, Once you've spent some minutes reflecting on your reflection, like what's led to this, how you feel, all of that, you're going to start putting this on paper. So you don't have to be like paragraph, perfect sentences. You just tired, weary, like whatever. Get a like wheel the feeling out and the wheel of feelings and just say, I look tired, but then go to each like little notch of that section and see if you can put it in a better like adjective.
Yeah.
That way you can, sum it up a lot better and maybe even become clearer on your thoughts. And then you're just going to let yourself record your thoughts and just let them pour out. Um, After you've recorded your reflections entirely, you're going to set aside the pages to review if you find that helpful. And it's okay to honor these pages instead of by burning them if you prefer to release the emotions you raise, especially if they are um, like processing your grief if you've lost a loved one if you feel like your grief is written down on these pages, burning them and letting them go might help you release that pain. Um, then you're going to cleanse the mirror by pouring the salt over it or spraying it down gently with the concentrated salt water. And then you'll be able to kind of take all of that energy that you kind of poured into the mirror and you will cleanse it. That way, that your feelings, your grief, or anything that you're reflecting on is written down, burned, whatever the case may be. And the mirror that you have has been clean and cleansed of your negative or, stagnant air of energy. And when you look into that mirror next, you'll be a little bit more refreshed, maybe even a little bit more clearer, or you might have some, uh, maybe like a more positive idea about your feelings and why you look the way that you are. And you can, work through that. And that's always step one on reflecting on your past year before you start your new shit.
Yeah, you got to clear out that negative stuff before you can start putting in the positive. Like you're not going to
Right.
really really obvious example. If you're about to do dishes and there's like some skanky water in the bottom of the sink, you're not going to put the dishes in the sink in that nasty water. You're going to clean it out and put in fresh water. Like you're starting over,
Yeah.
clearing it out.
And a lot of people like to do like those lists, like the New Year lists, which is great. But before you do that, you might want to cleanse yourself and your like house, your apartment, or your room, or wherever you are, to make sure that the intentions and the goals that you're setting are actually what you truly want. Because if you are in a bad headspace and you are upset at something, your goals might come through as a like negative output, which is not something that you want. So you want to make sure you cleanse yourself and everything around. So you can grab a bundle of sage. Um, Normally, it's you can buy like the pre-made packs, and it'll come with like three different types. You'll burn each one in its own respective, I guess, step. Make sure you have a window open so that the stagnant air has a place to release and go away. Um, I like to do a pentagram because that's like protection symbol. So I like to do a pentagram in each of my like rooms and like do like a protective energy setting that I do. That's what I personally like to do. Um, I just feel like it increases protection all over. Um, But yeah, you just want to cleanse the air, cleanse the paper, cleanse yourself, like do some circles around you with some like fresh sage. You can also do like a bathing spell. So like get some Epsom salt, get some essential oil. You can also do like almond oil, some rose petals, something to like cleanse your body, and just do like a nice warm bath before you like set your intention. It's like self-care.
Yeah. And that's also
Um,
going to be just enjoyable. Like it's going to smell good. It's
yeah.
going to feel good. It's going to be nice. So just do it.
Yeah, you're gonna
That's
feel
also
a
a
lot
way to
better
like,
regardless. It's like
yeah.
you're feeling shitty and everyone's like, "Well, take a shower, you'll feel better after the shower." It's not a fucking lie. Like you are gonna
No,
feel
it's
better.
not.
Honestly, I just if I'm sick or something like that, I take a shower and I just feel so much better.
Hmm.
I still feel like shit, but I feel
Better. Yeah.
better than I did. Yeah. So yeah, like get a robe, get your slippers, get a face mask, get like some of those silky feet things, get like some hand masks. Do like a whole self-care like bathing oil, like moisturization, like just reset yourself. Whether you're a dude or you're a girl, you're non-binary, do a bath that makes you feel refreshed and ready to go.
Yes.
Um,
Just do it.
right? And then before you set your goals, you want to set your intentions. You've cleansed yourself, you let go of the past stagnant air.
All
You're
that
ready to
bad
start anew.
juju.
Right. So sometimes you can honestly just do this without any materials. Um, as long as you're setting your intentions for positive. If you overdo it, you might actually it might get bounced back at you. Like, I want all the money. I want money in the world. That's my intention. okay, well, you might get some shit handed your way if that's what you
Right.
want.
About I want
So,
to be able to pay my bills and feel secure in my life.
yeah,
That's a much better
specifics,
intention.
specific goal setting.
Yes.
Um, so, but for those who want materials to make it feel a little bit more legit and like you're actually doing something, and like, because some people just can't focus on that, like they actually need to like physically do stuff to like feel like it's in motion. So for that, you'll need like a white candle, some paper, um, a pen, and anything. If you want to have images, drawings, or anything of your like future intentions, get those out. And then uh, you can. Some people like to burn their intentions, not necessarily like getting rid of it, but like to set it in motion. Some people like to put it in like spell jars, like they'll take bay leaves, write their intention on it. You can do it in a simmer pot, like however you want to do it. You
Whatever
can do
works
it that
best for
way.
you in your
Yeah.
practice.
Some people I've read, some people actually like to do like write out like a letter and then like fold it, put it in an envelope, and then stamp it, like seal it shut, like with one of those like wax candle sealers. That way, their intentions are sealed in this tiny package. That's how some people do it. But basically, what you're going to do is you're going to specifically say, I want abundance. You can have abundance in love. You can have abundance in being successful. So, like your career, your family success, or anything on that. And then you want to set your intentions for, um, you want to be protected in the new year. You want to have maybe not like easy, but you want to have a more positive outlook on things. So, like if shit gets handed your way, you're going to look at it positively. Like, fuck, I just lost my job. That's okay. A better opportunity is around the corner. Because honestly, sometimes you lose your job and it's just fate. You're going to lose it, but
Yep.
there's usually something better for you.
Well, and sometimes even like for example, so I fully believe that things happen when they happen for a reason. Like
Hmm.
when I could not take it anymore and decided to leave teaching at the end of last school year in May. Well, I think I decided in April. Um,
I think you decided in January.
well, I think I did too, but like I officially had set everything in motion and put in my notice in April.
I was gonna say that's
And
why we
then
started this podcast because like we bonded on like a lot of like
yes,
mental health struggles.
yes. Um, but so I decided I was leaving and I went to work at a corporate daycare, not a corporate daycare. Well, yeah, a corporation that was a daycare, which I'm sure I've mentioned before in the podcast. I'm not going to mention the name right now because I don't want to get in any trouble. But it was a shit show, to put it very nicely. Um, it had the potential to be a great job, but the district supervisor for this area was awful. Um, and I told her about herself before I left, but um it is what it is. Like that all happened, and then while I was there, just and I had already decided like that wasn't for me and that I could not, like, you can't. Yeah, anyway, I was ready to move on from that
Yeah,
after just 2 months. um when I got the message that the teacher that was in the position I'm currently in was leaving and would I like to come work here. And it was
you're like
like,
fuck yeah.
right, it was like the clouds parted and that sunlight shone down on me and was like, ah, because this is what's about to happen.
Well, and it's so weird too because we had talked extensively on, should I even, is this even what I want in life? Like, do I try something different? Do I take a break? And do I just like try, I know we didn't talk about like part-time jobs, but we were
Yeah,
talking about like getting out of this field and going to a different field.
and
And
I
then
took a
boom.
sidestep into like not education but childcare, but still kind of education because we were at preschool as well.
Yeah.
But then I I said when I left, and I said it to multiple people, the only way I would come back to teaching is if this position at this school opened up,
You
and it
really
did.
did though.
I
You
did.
straight up said that. You're like, I don't know if I'm going to go back to teaching. I will, actually. I will go back to teaching if XYZ happened. And I was like,
Yes.
okay. You
And
and
it
you
happened.
you set
I
your
spoke that bitch
intentions
into existence.
and here we are. Uh yeah,
And
that's
but
funny.
like just to be clear, has it been easy? Have I bitched about my job? Have I had some really hard times at this new job, this dream position? Yes. There have been a few times when I was done. I was ready to walk out. But
But
I didn't and I pushed through and right now at least I am happy.
yes. And honestly, I feel like if you don't bitch about your job, like do you actually care? Like if you're just going to go to your
Right.
job and like do it and you don't bitch about it, do you actually care about it?
And Brittany says that all the time. She's like, you have such a hard time as a teacher because you care. Because if I could go in there
Yeah.
and not care, then my job would be easy. It would be
Yeah,
easy.
I
But
feel
I
like that's why
care.
I bitch all the time. Maybe not to my like supervisors or anything like that, but I bitch a lot about a lot of different things. And it's just because it pisses me off that shit doesn't get done the correct way or shit gets
Yeah.
done half-assed. It's like if you want to half-ass it, that's fine. But did you do it correctly? Like my mom always said, you vacuumed half-assed. It's because you watched me, but I did vacuum. I did get it done. But it's like Bill Gates, work smarter, not harder. If you're getting the end goal finish a different way, a complete way, and it's faster, I don't care.
Hmm.
But if you're not reaching that end goal and you're still half-assing it, like that pisses me off. And so I'm gonna bitch
Yeah.
about it all the time.
Yeah. I'm all about work smarter, not harder. Like,
Yeah.
all
Why are
about
you making things
it.
harder about it when you could do it this way? And it's
Yeah.
nice too when you have people who think maybe not like that all the time, but bring ideas forward that could
Yes.
make it faster.
Yes.
Like
And
whenever I
one
had to
thing that I've
do,
always had just trouble with, and I know a lot of other people have trouble with it too, because I am a control freak.
yes,
Um, I don't like to delegate. I do not like to let responsibilities for a situation go. I'm very picky and I have really gotten better at it. I worked really hard at it my first 3 years of teaching because I had four great paras who were just awesome. And now I have two paras who are still learning, but I'm still delegating certain tasks to them. But I also have this great school system behind me. Like, we have this whole program for new teachers that like if we need copies made or if we need somebody to come cover our class for 15 minutes so we can take a break or just anything like little stuff like that, for first and second year teachers I think, um, we can do it. So I've been taking advantage of it. Like I can't have people make copies for me because I need a different copy for each of my six students and it's a nightmare. But like we were making gingerbread men for Christmas, right? And there were all these different little pieces that need cut out. I don't know how much y'all know about students with disabilities and cutting things out, but it doesn't usually look the same once they cut it out. So I was going to have all the pieces cut
it's
out for
always
them.
stressful,
Yes.
especially when they're
And
learning to cut, and you're just like
yes.
on the line, on the line. Oh my god, I
Yes.
saw on the line, and yeah, I get
And
it. I
if
get
the
it.
goal of this activity was for them to cut it nicely, then I obviously would have had them cut it itself. But it wasn't. The goal was to have a cute Christmas thing that went along with the story we were reading.
Right.
So like I had that lady cut out 7 sets of this gingerbread for me. She had to trace it and cut it out and like just that's something I wouldn't have done before. I would have been very anal about it and I would have cut it out. I would have brought it home and done it at my house on my time off. Um, but I've been getting better at letting go, is my point there.
Yeah, if I set any intentions for the new year, it is definitely that because like I work in retail, I'm going to be coming up with people that are going to be mad at me for one reason or another. Could I have fixed it? Maybe, but maybe I couldn't. And if I can't fix it, then why am I going to sit and dwell on it?
Or take it
Like,
personal. I when I was in
right.
retail, I used to take shit personal all the time.
Oh, all the time. Somebody will sit there and like say that I have a bad attitude or something like that, and it's just because I didn't smile. It's like,
Right.
ma'am, you're yelling at me. Why would I smile at you? I feel like that would just
Right.
add fuel to the fire. And
I had
So
somebody when
it's
used
I
to
just need
work
to
at
learn.
I used to work at the drive-through at Dairy Queen a long time ago, and I had somebody ask me if I was smoking dope one time because something that I was working the window. So I was taking their money and passing their food out. Something about their food was incorrect. And so he was rude to me, and I took it personally at the time because I was like 19. But now looking back on it, I now if that happened to me, I would probably just laugh in his face. Like because shut up. Like it was a mistake.
Right?
You could have said
Like,
like I'm much more willing to help you if you're like, "Oh, hey, this isn't right. Can you fix this for me?" Then I'm going to be like, "Yeah, no problem. Like thanks for being kind about it." But when you're like, "Are you smoking dope?" I'm going to be like, "Okay, bye," and shut the window in your fucking face.
right? Like
Cuz
somebody got so mad one night because she like wanted she wasn't first of all, she wasn't forthcoming with all the information. So like we were having to ask questions because
was this the
nobody
cat tree
understood.
lady?
Yes. Yes, it was. And it's like if you were just nice from the get-go and just been like, look, I bought this at this time, but there's a better sale and I haven't technically used it. Can I return it but like rebuy it? But instead she was just like, I want my money returned. I want this. I bought it last week. And it's like, okay, well first off, what did you buy last week?
Right.
What do you mean like you want your money back? Like did is it damaged? Like where's the item? Are you returning it? You bought it last week. So like what happened between now and last week? Like
Right. You
what's
need to
going on?
communicate.
But then when you're not telling me that and then you're getting short with my cashier and like flustering him and causing him to like stop what he's doing with other customers to answer your questions, to do all of this, then it's just frustrating. And then when you're pissed off at this point because like you're not forthcoming, he doesn't know what to answer, and you want to talk to me. So when I come up and then you're doing the same old rodeo with me and I'm trying to find the correct answer, and I'm like, we can't just refund you your money. You need to bring the item in to make sure we're getting the correct sale for you. You could literally buy like a $20 thing and you could be getting $90 away from us. Like we want to make sure it's the correct product.
Right.
Because if it's a better sale, great. I'm all for you getting your money back. But when you're gonna act like this, then I want to act you to go that extra step and bring that shit back into me.
Yep.
Or you're about to lose a loyal customer. Ma'am, I am giving you exactly what you want. You just want me to do it right now, which I technically I cannot do. So
Right. I'm
I need to
doing my
see the
job.
item. Yeah, and she like didn't have the receipt. She's like, I don't have my receipt. I don't know where the receipt is. Like I just want my refund. It's like, I don't know
How
what
do
you
I know
bought.
that you
I
bought
don't
that?
know
Yeah.
what you if you got it on sale or
Or
yeah.
if you
So then
ever
the
bought anything to begin with. Like,
right, and so then the next day she produces a receipt and then she's complaining about me and I'm just like, seriously? I literally asked you if you had this receipt and you said you long lost it. Now you're just pissed off and you want like revenge and it's like you're not gonna get it. But
my
instead,
favorite
she
thing,
literally just
oh my
returned the
gosh.
cat tree, got her money back, and that was it. And I was like, well, okay, whatever. It was a shitty cat tree,
My,
anyways. Go ahead.
this is like my favorite thing right now because we're just like exchanging retail stories. But my favorite thing as a manager to do, first of all, when I was the store manager of a Subway, I was young. Like, I mean, I'm still relatively young, but I was like young, young. And I looked even younger than I was. And my favorite thing was when people would ask for the manager and I would come out and then they would try to bully me, especially because it was in a rural community and it was always older men.
When
They
you're
would
in a
just
rural
try to like,
community, it's always like old white men.
right. And they would try to get loud
Hmm.
or try to talk to me like I was dumb. And like, first of all, you've already disrespected my staff. So on that alone makes me want to make you leave my store. But if I'm going to come out here as the manager, and some people would not even believe I was a manager, I don't know what to tell you. You want to call our franchise owner because I can give you his office number. He won't be in until like God knows when, and he'll never return your call, but I can give you his number.
Right.
Um, but my favorite thing was always to be like, um, you're not speaking to us in a way that is helpful, and we can't help you with your problem if we don't know what's going on. So until you're able to communicate effectively, I'm going to need you to leave my store.
It's my favorite. Like today, somebody got really upset with like another manager for I don't know. I just know she was catching a fish and he was upset. And he came up to me, he goes, "Is a store leader around here?" And I was like, "Yes." Well, I didn't say yes because I mean technically yes, he was there, but he was not there. He was working, just not in uniform. And I was like, "No, he's not here today, but I'm one of the managers that are here. What can I help you with?" And he was like, "That girl over there who helped me catch or who got fish for me, she shorted me fish." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need me to go get you the fish? Like, sorry if you can't find her. Like, do you need me to go get the fish for you?" And he's like, "No, a guy over there already got it for me." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. So is there anything else I can do for you?" Because he was the other manager on duty. So like
Hmm.
a manager got it for him, another manager got it for him. Then he comes up to me and I was like, "Is there anything else you need me to do?"
Right.
Because I mean, you got your fish. Like, what do you want?
So,
And he's
sometimes I just
like,
want to feel vindicated. Like,
"Right." And he was like, no, I don't need anything else. I just want to know. I just wanted to let you know that that she's being a bitch because when I went over there, she rolled her eyes when I said that she shorted me fish, and um now and that's very unprofessional, and I'm going to corporate. And I was like, okay,
I
sir,
also
you're
just
allowed
like
to do that.
I know you already told me this story, but I'm thinking about feeder fish, and I'm thinking about like when I used to go get crickets. It's
They're
like
40 cents.
well, and there's like a fuck ton of them in there. How did you count? Like,
Honestly, it's harder to count them in the bag. That's why when we like do the fish, we grip them and we like
one at a time.
one,
Like, yeah,
2, 3. He was only getting
right.
5 or like 10, and apparently there was 6 in there. I don't know. And
Oh
honestly,
my gosh.
sometimes they look like there's a lot less in there than there really is. So like when we have to do counts for like fish, when you're looking at the thing, it'll say it'll say you have like 500 fish, but it'll look like you have like maybe 50. But when you like physically try to count them all out, there's like 500 in there. So he
Right.
probably had 10, but he kept probably like not counting all of them. And it probably just looked like he didn't have enough. I mean, regardless, he just literally came up to me and I've had customers cuss, but not call another associate like a name. So when he said that, I was kind of like the meme of the guy kind of like blinking a few times and kind of
Yeah,
looking
you're like,
back. I was definitely like, well, like I wasn't ready for it.
like,
And
okay,
then he was like, "And I'm going to call corporate." And I was like, "Okay, sir, you can do that. Like that's your right. You can call corporate if you're upset. You can.
right.
You literally just told me you don't want anything else. So like I don't know what to tell you."
Like, right. What do you want from me? I don't.
And he
I
was
can't help
like,
you.
and then he like, because at this time he had his like receipt and he's shaking it in the air and he goes, "I'm calling corporate." And I was like, "Okay, you're allowed to do that if you feel like you were not treated correctly today. Is there anything else I can help you with?" "Nope, that's it." "Okay,
And
thank
it's
you,
so
sir.
funny
Have a
because
great
nine
day."
times out of 10, those people don't actually call corporate.
No, but he definitely did. He definitely did. Because
That's
not even
funny.
like an hour later, we got a ding saying we had like a negative review. And then the person who he complained about came up to me and goes like, "Yeah, he mentioned you and he said that you act like you didn't give a shit." And I was like, I asked him if he wanted me to get him more things. I asked him if there's anything else I can do for him. And then I told him to have a nice day. And I was like, he's probably saying that to me because of the whoa kind of look I gave him when he like called you a bitch. And I was like, what more does he want me to do? He didn't tell me what he wanted. If he wanted
Right.
me to like refund him the fish, okay, you can have your $2 back. Like that's not a problem. Those fish are
Right.
probably going to die anyways. You're feeding a fucking eel. And I helped him with like 8 things. I literally grabbed things off the shelf for him. He goes, "Thanks so much. You've been such a great help." But he told me he wasn't mad at me when he like came up to me, but he complained about me and I was like, "Whatever, I don't care." I was like,
Oh my
"Okay,
gosh.
I didn't do anything for it." But it's just like he was honestly one of those people that like he gave like Hugh Hefner vibes where
Uh,
he's like super old, like rich, um and
he just
then he
expected you
has
to be
like
like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. What can I do?
A lot of
No.
people do, but it's like
Yeah.
we're following store policy. One, two. I
People
don't.
just want you to cower and give them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was like, um, I, and when it came through, the store leader was like, "Hey, what happened?" And I was like, "This literally what happened when he called her a bitch." I was like, "Whoa." I
Right. Like,
wasn't.
oh.
I just expected him to be upset and like call her unprofessional, but no, he's like, no, she's a bitch. She rolled her eyes and she's unprofessional. Like I was like, so if I look like I
Yeah, he's
didn't
lucky
give a
he had
shit,
you because my ass would have been like, "Excuse me, sir, come back and talk to me when you learn how to talk to people appropriately." Because
I just looked at him and was like, eh, I literally was like, is there anything else I can do for you? No.
right,
Okay.
like
Have a
what?
great day, sir. Is a
Right,
store
like what
leader
else did
here?
you want?
No. Like you literally messed with all the managers at the store. I don't know what
Oh my
else you want.
gosh.
But yeah, so I was just like, sir, you just want to bitch to bitch. Like there's, and it's really funny because there's a lot of
Yes,
people who are like, I'm
yes.
going to call corporate. And it's like, okay,
Go
I,
ahead.
it's your
What do
right
you
to
want me
call
to
corporate
say?
if you feel upset. It's your
What do you mean to
right.
be like,
You
"Oh,
can't.
please don't do that." Like
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's just insane. People just want to be mad.
yes. And if that hadn't happened, there would have been something else for him to be angry about. Like that's just some people are just like that. They just have to have something to be angry about.
Yeah,
And like
honestly,
honestly, aren't there enough things to be angry about in the world? Like some
yeah.
fucking fish, that like a roll of eyes, that's what you want to be angry about from somebody
40
you're probably never
cents.
going to see again.
40 cents a I've never seen him. In the amount of like 40 hours a week that I've worked in pet care, the random ass hours I've worked, I've never seen him
And that's what
ever.
I'm saying. Like even if you do, like even if he were to see her again, he probably wouldn't remember that it was her. So like shut up, get a
Yeah.
life.
And he was over there waiting and I was like, "I'm so sorry, sir, for your wait. Let me call somebody over to help so that we can like help more people." And
Right.
she got the short end of the stick cuz she got him. She came over and she goes, "Who was here first?" And I said, "Honestly, I think they both walked up at the same time. If you want to help him out, I will go over and help her." And she goes, "All right, perfect." He goes, "Thanks so much." I was like, "Yeah, you're welcome."
And then all of a sudden,
Yeah, and then he just blows
boy.
up. But
Anyway,
he
we
was
have
like,
now gone over.
yeah, it's, anyways,
Let it go.
retail.
Okay.
Listen, we're just getting all the bad juju out before the end of the year, okay?
Yeah.
We're
So,
just getting it out.
since this is coming out on New Year's Eve, be safe. Don't do anything stupid. And if you drive anywhere, be aware that there will be like triple the police force out tonight.
And also, if you're going to Uber, remember there's going to be a surcharge,
Yes,
like
that too.
40%. So your 10-minute drive for like $5-6 is going to be like 50.
Yes. So plan for that. Um,
Because
also,
my stupid
random
ass never did.
random news. I have the Llewellyn's witches calendar for 2023. I got the wall calendar, but I was looking at it before we started recording, and this Friday, the 6th, like not today, well, today's Saturday for you guys, I guess, but anyway, Friday, January 6th is going to be the next full moon. So if you have anything you need to prepare for that, go ahead and do that this week.
Definitely get some water outside
Yes.
if you're going to do that. That'll be good for cleaning. Not cleaning, but like clearing energies. Anyways.
Cleansing. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
What a
Well,
great bitch fest. I love it. I love therapy sessions.
yes. And sometimes that's what you need to do to cleanse and get rid of that bad juju. So if you have a
Yeah,
friend that, or send us a message if you just need to talk.
girl, listen. Boy, girl, I don't care what you are. I will listen and I will bitch with you.
And I will validate your feelings because I am real good at that.
And
So
honestly, sometimes I might give you a petty answer. So please take
My favorite thing to ask when somebody is talking to me about like something that's stressing them out is, okay, are we venting or are we problem solving? Because nine times out
I
of
will
10,
problem solve all the time.
yes. Well, I don't. I just try to validate feelings and like let you get it out. And Brittany is a
I'll
problem solver.
validate.
So
Oh
if
yeah,
I'm
no.
trying to
I'll
vent,
validate.
she's trying to fix it. And I'm like, stop trying to
That's
fix it. I just want to be mad right now.
that's Will. He was like, "Well, why don't you do this, this, this?" And I was like, "I know I should do that, but right now I'm just in a mood where I want to be pissed off. So let me be dramatic and like let it go.
Yes, let
Let
me
me
be
vent to
dramatic.
you. Let me go to sleep, and then we'll be fine the next day." And he's just
Yes.
like, "You stress me out. I don't
Or if
understand."
I'm crying, let me cry. Let me cry. When I'm done crying, I promise I will feel better. I just need to
Right?
get it out.
I was telling
So,
Will, I was like, you know what? You ever just get into the feeling where you're like not sad, but you're not like you're like apathetic, like you're not really feeling anything, but you just feel like a good cry. You just feel like
yes.
if you cry, the whole world's gonna be so much better, and it's not feeling driven. It's just
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I absolutely feel that way all the time. So,
So you know
anyway,
what?
witches.
Get your cleansing stuff out, get your good cry, get your self care, and be prepared for the new year.
Yes. All
Until
right.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.